Alright, welcome back to the Hawks Weekly Wine. It's TNA time. But you won't hear me complain about NXT in this rhyme as I've reached a point of acceptance. This show will never draw a dime. This week started out with some news that WWE NXT have released 3 girls who have been fairly regularly showing up in TNA. Gigi Dolan, Cora Jade, and Jakara Jackson. It makes you kind of wonder why WWE bothered to send them to TNA in the first place. Hopefully that isn't going to be a new way to tell if someone's about to get released from the WWE. But you could definitely see TNA wanting to pick up any of these ladies. Can't really see Dakota Kai doing it, I think AEW will probably take her. But maybe TNA will, and the Knockouts division is starting to look a lot stronger, especially as 2 of their international talents have now cleared up visa issues. Speaking of the Knockouts, TNA have tried pushing a new Tessa Blanchard t-shirt which seemingly embraces the hate for Tessa. She quickly took to arguing with fans on Instagram in the comment section. Who's ready to get smacked is TNA Impact. The show starts out with highlights from the main show on NXT. The feud between Trick Williams and Joe Hendry has continued. They will now be facing off at NXT Battleground with the TNA title on the line. Trick Williams is now making his way out to the TNA ring. He speaks about all the women that he gets and how the internet is going crazy for him. He says he will take over TNA and kill any of Joe Hendry's fans. That brings out the very man who, for once, looks very miserable. Some security geeks try to stop him, but Joe beats him up like he's Stone Cold Steve Austin in the Attitude Era. He gets a few punches in on Trick before the fight is broken up again. Hendry goes back to beating up the security guards. Surely Joe Hendry will get suspended for that. Dolph Ziggler did. In the back, new TNA manager, or whatever position he holds, Robbie E is very upset about how bad the plans for tonight's show are. Alicia Fox is with him, who just smiles with happiness. The opening match will see jobber Rosemary, who hasn't won a match in 5 months, taking on Xia Li. Rosemary hits the first big move with a side slam. Brookside is on commentary, moaning about Rosemary trying to make her use dirty tactics to win matches. Well, it doesn't seem to have helped Rosemary, so I'd probably ignore her too. Rosemary hits a big overhead suplex for a 2. Now Rosemary bites her and puts on her leg choke across the ropes. Xia Li recovers and starts hitting strikes and her own overhead suplex for a 2. Brookside looks nicer than usual today. Rosemary hits a spear and looks to cheat with brass knuckles, but Brookside won't have that and takes them away, which causes Rosemary to dump in her nappy of anger. She turns around into a spin kick from Xia Li for the 3. Man, Rosemary needs saving. She is such a jobber. In the back, and Mike Santana has a stare down with Trick Williams. He runs into the mole, Sami Callihan, and a goblin for some reason. Mike says he respects Sami for his barbed wire match, and they have hugs and cuddles. First Class walk up, making fun of Sami for hanging around with a goblin. Francis then tries to recruit Sami to join their group because they need a more violent wrestler. He isn't interested in doing that. Casey Navarro is scared of Mike Santana. The Elegance brand will now give their newest member a makeover. Finally, they've been talking about this for a month. Watching the montage, it feels like an acid trip. And the back of her head looks amazing. It's a tag match now. The Bad Hands walk out of a microphone. The Bad Hands remind us that their owner, Mustafa Ali, has changed into a far scarier man. They take on Laredo Kid and Octagon Jr., and I believe he is now actually signed to TNA. Anyway, Laredo gets a start with a head scissors. Octagon hits a nice corkscrew dive, and he also hits an arm drag from the top. The Bad Hands cheat to turn the match. They can't really do anything though. The Aztec Warriors hit stereo head scissors. They also hit dives out of the ring. I'm wondering if these guys are a bit wasted as a tag team when the X division is so weak. I don't think TNA really cares about that division right now. The Aztec Warriors win with a driver and a headstand into a split-legged moonsault. These guys could do alright with a bit better packaging. Mustafa Ali jumps them. He's in a foul mood. Good to see Tasha Steelz is back after going through the table. The Little Rascals eventually run them off. It's officially turned into a match right now. The Little Rascal Trey Miguel taking on Mustafa Ali. TNA, he better steamroll this little jobber. Trey tries a Hurricanrana which has little to no effect, and Mustafa transitions it into a powerbomb. Miguel manages another head scissors of sorts, which sends Ali out of the ring, and then he blocks him from getting back into the ring. Trey's attempt at a dive is reversed, and he gets hit with a DDT out of the ring, but Mustafa isn't in a rush to win, and he hits a net breaker and a twisting splash. Now he makes the pin, and Miguel kicks out at 1. Give me a break, this scrub just took a DDT to the floor. Ali connects him a nice dragon suplex. Again Miguel kicks out. Ali is looking frustrated, or maybe he just doesn't like the smell of facing this guy. He tries a rolling net breaker which Miguel counters into a cutter. Now he hits a moonsault and follows it up with a dive out of the ring. The Little Rascal continues to dominate with diving knees. Ali finally quietens him down with a dropkick. The other Little Rascal dives on the Bad Hands before Mustafa Ali gets rid of him. But he's forgotten all about Miguel, who flies out of the ring into a DDT on Ali. Tasha Steelz now causes a distraction which allows the Bad Hands to slam Miguel into the ring apron, and then Mustafa Ali wins by dropping him on his face. Look, it was a really nice match, but it just didn't make any sense. We've been talking about a brand new and improved, more dangerous Mustafa Ali, yet did he really do anything different to his previous matches? And let's be honest, he struggled to win here and needed lots of help. Good match, but it just didn't make any sense. Shouldn't he have been much more violent and aggressive? The man without a grin, Steve Macklin, is in a foul mood. He threatens to beat Eric Young in a dog collar match tonight. Indy Fartwell has a video package where she tries to look on the bright side of life about being stuck in TNA nowadays. She shouts out Gail Kim, Tara, the beautiful people in ODB. Guess she didn't like Raka Khan as much as the Hawk did. The Hardy Boys are here with new theme music. Well, it's actually the same as the old music, but with more aggressive beat. They are here to address losing the tag team titles. Jeff Hardy somehow looks older than Matt Hardy nowadays. Matt apologises to the fans for losing the tag belts. They basically just say they're hungrier than ever to get the belts back. The Nemeths eventually join them and make fun of them for losing the belts. Dolph says they run TNA now and they are the greatest brother tag team. Then, for no reason whatsoever, Dolph offers them a pay-per-view rematch, and this time it'll be a ladder match. Wow, what crap heels, giving the fans exactly what they wanted. Dolph then laughs that Jeff isn't actually allowed to go to Canada due to his criminal past. They say, never mind, I guess the match is off. Well, to be fair, Zigglers, you did get the Hawk there. The Zigglers go to leave when Santino Nutella interrupts. He decides to make a match at the pay-per-view where Matt Hardy can choose his own partner. You could say that's pretty much nailed on to be Leon Slater, the boy from Bradford. Alicia Fox will have her debut TNA match now, except she is Victoria Crawford. Not sure why. Robbie is on commentary because somebody fucking hates me. She's taken on Brittany Brooks, who I'm pretty sure I saw recently in some indie promotion. She's very young at just 20 years old, and she is the girlfriend of Chris Bay. Nice to see that TNA are still pushing the collection to help Chris Bay with his recovery. Alicia gets the jump on her opponent before her opponent jumps on her. Alicia hits the Northern Lights for a 2. Fox then rolls into a sort of head scissors and punctuates that of an axe kick. It's over. Very short match. Wouldn't Brittany make more sense to be shoved with the Elegance team? Alicia Fox has a mic, but is instantly interrupted by Masha Slamovich. These two are scheduled to compete for the title. Masha has a new hairdo. She attacks Alicia Fox before Tessa Blanchard saves Fox and hits her with a DDT. Santino Nutella is back again. He calls Alicia Fox Victoria Crawfish. He makes a tag match for next week. Robbie E, of course, has to get his word in. A lot of people have been saying that TNA put Alicia Fox with Tessa Blanchard deliberately to show that Tessa has friends. Would they really do that? Anyway, Robbie E says that Masha's partner next week will be Nikita Lyons. Well, we all know what that means. She is next on the release list. Just kidding. Or maybe I'm not. In the back, Robbie E meets with Nutella and his nutty daughter. She screams that Robbie E is ruining all their hard work. Tessa Blanchard's chin walks up and runs her down. Tessa makes fun of her for only having a job due to who her dad is, whilst Tessa still had to work hard despite Tully being her dad. Just the main event to go for the international title, a dog collar match with Eric Young challenging the man without a grin, Steve Macklin. Matt Cardona is on commentary and wants to face the winner at this one. Macklin is busted open almost straight away. Elijah is miserably watching backstage and wondering what on earth he's doing here. I actually quite like what they're doing with the international belt. So far so good. It seems to be at the forefront of TNA's minds. They're talking about it a lot. Anyway, it's a decent hardcore brawl. Eric of course has the advantage because he has a crew of crackheads by his side. It's just like the barbed wire massacre match from the other day, so apologies for the blue filters. Macklin eventually gets rid of the crackheads and hits an ankle slam for a 2. He can't stay on top though as Young jerks him off the apron. EY stupidly tries a moonsault which of course doesn't work. More interference from the crackheads doesn't go well for them either. Macklin stacks them in the corner and he spears them both. That gives EY time to recover and he hits a pile driver, but it's just a 2. Eric Young, like a moron, tries another dive which is again countered and the man without a grin wins with KIA. How are you guys feeling about Steve Macklin? There's something missing, but I don't know what. Maybe it's a grin. Anyway, that's the show. Not exactly spectacular, but nothing too controversial this week for me to complain about, and if you don't agree with that,